Once upon a time in the vast African savanna, all animals were gathered under the great baobab tree for the annual meeting with Nai, the wise old elephant who was the leader of the animal kingdom. Back then, giraffes had short necks, no longer than the zebras or the antelopes. During the meeting, Nai announced that the fruit from the tall acacia trees, which were said to possess magical properties, were finally ripe. The fruits, glowing with a golden hue, were known to bestow strength, wisdom, and agility upon those who ate them. However, they grew so high up that no animal had ever managed to reach them. Kiazi, the young giraffe, looked up at the tall acacia trees, her mouth watering at the sight of the golden fruits. "Oh, how I wish I could taste those magical fruits," she sighed. "If only I were tall enough to reach them." That night, Kiazi couldn't sleep. She lay under the twinkling stars, contemplating how to reach the tantalizing fruits. As the first light of dawn broke, she decided to seek advice from Temu, the wise tortoise known for his clever solutions. "Temu, how can I reach the fruits of the tall acacia trees?" Kiazi asked, her eyes filled with hope. Temu, with his wrinkled, thoughtful face, pondered for a moment before replying, "To reach the heights, you must stretch yourself in ways you never thought possible. Go to the great river and drink deeply from its waters. Then, each day, stretch your neck towards the sun and the stars. Be patient, for growth takes time and effort." Taking Temu's advice to heart, Kiazi embarked on her journey to the great river. Along the way, she encountered various animals, each with their own unique abilities. She met Shani, the swift cheetah, who could run faster than the wind. She met Kofi, the mighty lion, whose roar could be heard across the plains. She even met Mosi, the clever monkey, who could swing through the trees with ease. Each animal had their own advice for Kiazi. "Why don't you run and leap towards the trees like me?" suggested Shani. But Kiazi knew her legs weren't built for such speed. "Roar at the tree, maybe the fruits will fall," Kofi proposed, but Kiazi's voice wasn't powerful enough. "Climb the tree like me," Mosi offered, but Kiazi's hoofs couldn't grasp the bark. Determined to follow Temu's advice, Kiazi continued to the great river. She drank deeply from its cool, refreshing waters, feeling a newfound energy within her. Every morning, as the sun rose, she would stand tall and stretch her neck towards the sky. Every evening, under the stars, she would do the same, reaching for the twinkling lights. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Despite her efforts, Kiazi's neck remained the same. She grew desperate and despaired due to what she felt were the lies of the tortoise. She gave up and started to go back home. As she walked along the riverbank, she slipped off a steep escarpment and fell into the deepest part of the river. She started to drown and screamed in horror as she tried to keep afloat. The tides of the river became stronger, and Kiazi soon started to hear the haunting voices of her ancestors calling her into the afterlife. The ghostly voices echoed around her, urging her to join them beneath the waters. "Kiazi, come to us," they whispered. "Join us in the peaceful depths." Realizing that she was close to death and feeling as if the ghosts of her ancestors were pulling her into the water, Kiazi summoned all her remaining strength. She bit onto a root at the edge of the riverbank. Her body was pulled further into the river by the strong current, but she didn't let go. The root strained and tugged at her, elongating her neck. Kiazi could feel her neck stretching painfully, but she held on, refusing to yield to the ghostly calls. With her newfound long neck, Kiazi was able to pull herself out of the river and return home. The other giraffes were in awe of her transformation and listened as she recounted her harrowing experience. Inspired by Kiazi's story, the other giraffes decided to make their way to the great river. They threw themselves into the deepest parts of the river and bit on the roots of trees at the banks, hoping their necks would elongate as well. Some yielded to the songs of the ghost and were lost to the river, but others came out with elongated necks. One evening, as the animals gathered once more under the great baobab tree, Nai, the wise old elephant, spoke. "Let this be a lesson to all of us," he said in his deep, resonant voice. "Sometimes, the greatest rewards come to those who are willing to face their deepest fears and stretch beyond their limits." Kiazi's journey had not only changed her but had inspired an entire generation. Her story was passed down through the ages, a tale of perseverance, determination, and the belief that with hard work and bravery, even the seemingly impossible can be achieved. And so, the giraffes of the savannah became known for their long necks, their grace, and their ability to reach the tallest branches. They thrived on the magical fruit of the tall acacia trees, embodying the spirit of Kiazi's journey. The legend of how giraffes got their long necks was told around campfires and in the cool shade of the trees, a reminder to all that dreams can be reached if one is willing to stretch and grow.